We on. Salute, fam. What's happening? What's happening? Just gonna jump on here, chop it up for a minute. Probably like 30 minutes or so. Ain't gonna hold you long. Uh, shit, ain't nobody in the building right now. See, we got 2 thumbs up. Appreciate you. Say 2 people waiting. What's happening, man? We're gonna chop it up a little bit, go over the schedule. Uh, give a couple shout outs this week at the top of the leaderboard. You know what I'm saying? Some of the fam. Winston Lee, salute, bro. What's happening? What's good, fam? Ain't gonna be on long. Just gonna chop it up, go over the schedule, check out, see what fights we got this weekend. Missed the fights on Friday. We thought it was Saturday, but might be back on Wednesday. Trey said he gonna come through, try to come through with that trivia, man. So that's another reason I'm gonna go live, just to let everybody know. We was gonna do it last Wednesday, but not enough trivia heads came through, so we just chopped it up. But I'm gonna get on right on in it, man, because I ain't gonna hold y'all long. But Yasir Hussein came in first place in the league, man, this week. He hit that top spot. Almond Brown came in third place, y'all. Shout out to Almond Brown, man. Definitely had to come through and let that be known. You know what I'm saying? She ain't new to this. She true to this. But yeah, shout out to Almond Brown. I had fourth place this week, tied with Napoleon Armstrong. Shout out, bro. Geneva Warren, as usual, up there at the top. She was in sixth. Nick Harmer, shout out to our fam. Charles D up there in the top 10. Eric R is right behind him. Trey X and Winston Lee. In that top 20, man. It's just boxing. Salute, fam. But yeah, man, congrats to Almond Brown and Yasir. Coming in and Yasir taking down that first spot, and Almond Brown holding the third spot down. Hey, the whole block fan was in that goddamn thing, y'all. Representing this week. Yeah, I thought that was a good week for us. We shined up in there. It's just boxing. You in the prediction league. Next week is the last week. The Canelo Charlo fight, I believe, is gonna be the last week. So if you ain't in there, you can get in. It's about to start. All over, man. Last week is gonna be that fight. Almond Brown, salute, sis. We just talked you up. Shout out to you holding down that third place. Man, that's some good shit. I said you ain't new to this, huh? You true to this. Came in the boxing world, putting it this down. Third place by herself. Yasir Hussein hold down first place by herself. Hey, but look, this is the thing too. This week we got Wednesday fight. We're gonna have to put in our picks. I almost missed mine. But we got fights on Wednesday and Saturday. It's a total of 16. So I'm gonna try to make sure I put mine in tomorrow or something. But on Wednesday it's those Pro Box TV on YouTube. It's those fights that really gonna be having enough familiar guys. I don't think everybody would be interested in. And then we got the Joyce versus Zhang fight. Anthony Yarde fighting this weekend. Richardson, Austin Williams, Jessica McCaskill. So some pretty good fights on Saturday, man. But most of them, they on the zone. And then we got some ESPN Plus fights. That's the Yard and the Joyce fight. We'll find out Wednesday if bro gonna be able to call those. But pretty much though, man, we got some fights this weekend. Hopefully we'll be on to call them. It's gonna be on the ESPN Plus, so that you know how that be. Rather have it on TV because you watching it on the phone and shit. Oh yeah, yeah. You know we got you. That's why we try to keep keep up with these Monday lives. I know, I be busy, y'all, so sometimes it's hard for me to get through. But for the most part, I be trying to make it, man. I don't care how tired I be. I just at least be trying to make sure we hold it down on Monday. I do be on for my free time. But yeah, man. It's going down. The week almost over. Next week is our last week. And then we're gonna have a new season. Season 18. And that's why I be saying, as long as you don't miss no weeks, you ain't got to get perfect. You still can hang in there just by putting your points in. You definitely gonna hit. You don't have to know everybody. Geneva Warren, salute, sis. That should go right there, y'all. One of the heavy hitters. Stay up in the top 10 at least. If she ain't holding down that number one spot. Haplotype, salute. What's good, fam? We told. I wasn't gonna hold y'all. Excuse me. I wasn't gonna hold y'all long. Just came to talk about the standings and the fights we got this weekend, and was giving some shout outs to Yasir, and Brown. Everybody that come through the corner was up there. Like I said, like the champ, Geneva, um, Napoleon Armstrong, Nick Harmer, Charles D. Everybody was up there. They wasn't in the top 10. They was definitely in the top 20. I got that 4th spot this week. Did all right. My overall is kind of weak. Rod X the champ in the building. Salute, bro. But and don't forget we're gonna come back Wednesday. If Trey can, he said he's gonna come back with the trivia on Wednesday. For those who like the trivia. We tried to do it last Wednesday, but everybody was busy or Sunday didn't show up. And the ones that did show up, they just wanted to chop it up, so we chopped it up. What's up, Ivy? Salute, bro. He said Kenshari Teherji has to be rated higher than Gavante. He is fighting tough competition back to back and stopping his opponent. I don't even know who that is. Kenshiro. Sound like a Chinese fighter. Kenshiro Teherji. Let me see if he's on the schedule this weekend. Excuse me, y'all. I don't even know who that is. I'm sure he ain't fighting tougher opponents if he ain't fought no champions, though. Gavante fought champions. Yeah, he's from Japan. He said that fought early on ESPN. Earlier today? And who he fought? And who he fought, though? We already chopped it up about the Joyce fight, y'all. I ain't want to just do no rerun. I think Zane might be the same old results with Joyce. Then again, Joyce got a chance. Oh, it was something I want to address, but I ain't gonna ruffle nobody's feathers with it, man. I don't be seeing nobody be bringing it up though. You know, some funny business going on with the rematch. That kind of made me mad. I don't care where it's at though. If it's on at 47 or 54, rematch to me. But some people just ain't good with their word, man. Some people just not gonna hold on to their word. Like I said, yes, at like 5 a.m. our time. He is a WBA and WBC champion at flyweight at 108. Okay. Gil Cole, salute, bro. What's happening? Yeah, I ain't gonna. I can put it right. Shit, put it right here. Forgot to even post it. Let me go over to YouTube and pin it. But yeah, man, I just hope we get the rematch, man. I ain't even going into the BS drama I'm hearing. Stuff people posting on Twitter and shit, and Instagram. Like we said, Marlo, how do you feel about Amanda Serrano next fight? Being a 12 round, 3 minute fight. Shit, I like it. I think that's more chances of you seeing the stoppage because motherfuckers really gonna be tired and shit. They ain't used to everybody gonna have the same advantages if they're not training for 3 minute, 12 3 minute rounds. That's gonna be a big reason for the stoppages. Probably be a lot of towels and shit, or ref stepping it in. Not necessarily a knockout, but shit, that'll be Serrano gonna have chances on getting the same results as the next person. Cause she be getting tired as a motherfucker too, and just start letting her hands go. Right? They say, what's the best fight this weekend? I don't know. I was thinking about it being Zane versus Joyce rematch. But look, we got Richardson Hitchens versus Zepeda. I think that might be a good fight. That's a step up fight for Hitchens. Oh, and it's for a vacant. It's a 12 rounder for a vacant NABO and WBC silver junior welterweight. Then we got Austin Williams going against Steve Rose. I don't know who this Sandy Ryan chick is, but Jessica McCaskill is gonna be fighting. But yeah, I was thinking the rematch. We know what we getting there. Anthony Yarde fighting too. He fighting another 3 loss fighter. This guy got a draw. Ricky Summers. At least we know what we getting from that fight. But if it ain't that one, I think Zepeda versus Hitchens is a good fight. Oh, I see how you say Zane too. Zane versus Joyce. Or Taraji versus Boulder. Butler. Like you say, we have to see what Jose Zepeda has to offer. Yeah, I think Zepeda is a step up. But Hitchens though, that's what made that interesting. Excuse me. That's what I thought it would be interesting. 37-3. Hitchens is 16-0. He ain't a very heavy hitter. Zepeda got decent power. I think that's a step up fight for him. Ivy say McCaskill versus Sandy Ryan is for the WBA and WBC, WBO welterweight titles. Yeah. See, I don't know nothing about Sandy Ryan though. That was my thing. And I'm not gonna act like I'll be checking in for all the women boxing because I don't. It's only particular fights that I really be interested in. I ain't gonna cap. When social scientists jump on, I'll be interested to hear his take on most of the women fight because he'll give you some real fights to go check out. Hey, but with the three minutes though, that's definitely what I want to see. Is this title fight is gonna be 3 minutes, hyphen? Even though I ain't gonna watch it on its own. I'll be checking for somebody on YouTube or something. I wonder what particular fight did that start with? The 3 minutes. Hey, Gil Cole. Trey ain't here though. I gotta ask Gil who Alma Brown was up against because I know she put him in the dirt. If it wasn't Yasir, she put whoever her opponent was this week, she put him in the dirt. Was it you, Senor Giddy? Was Alma Brown your opponent this weekend? She took third place, snatched it solo. Yasir took first place, snatched it solo. So I know he got the dub. Whoever he was up against. Oh, he said, I don't know. Eric R got me last week. Oh, okay. They ducking. Oh shit. I'm around said no one challenged it. They ducking. Oh snap. I would say, Marlo, did you hear about the change in scoring fights? Judges have been scoring fights based on different criteria. Nah, I ain't hear about no change. I ain't changing, man. These motherfucking judges be cheap. Any goddamn way. Home cooking be in the mix a lot. For them to be changing any goddamn thing. Too much home cooking be going on. And one of the home cooking that I didn't like was the so-called low blow. I don't think that was a low blow, man. If your navel is covered up, I think the rules apply everywhere, not just in the United States. You know what I'm saying? If your navel is covered up, then the belt line to the top, from the bottom to the top of the belt line should be legal. And that's where the punch was placed at. And Usyk was down for a minute. I don't know if he was acting or whatnot, but it still should have been counted as a knockdown. I'm not giving the boy no excuse though. He let that fight slip, but I'm just saying to be changing rules, they ain't even um, enforcing the rules that they already got. You understand what I'm saying? Gil said I'm 2-1 against Alma Brown, only using my jab. Hype say difference is not part of it. He said defense is not part of the judging criteria. Judges cannot score an even round anymore. What? So how did that work? Even if you ain't using defense, I mean, you only can count the punches that score, right? The punches landed. I mean, and if you count the punches landed, how would that work? If both fighters landed the same amount of punches, Then it's gonna be the fighter with his back against the ropes. They're gonna be judging the fight too. Are they gonna force the fighter not to box anymore? Like both fighters gonna have to come forward. I wonder how would that work? Because ring generalship is not necessarily the fighter with his back against the ropes. You know what I'm saying? It's the fighter whose game plan and will is being opposed. You know what I'm saying? Like a motherfucker can have his fight, his Herb, salute, fam. Star Girl, salute. Welcome to the gym if it's your first time. A person can have their back against the ropes and still be successful. You know what I'm saying? With counter punching and things of that nature. Like it's different things that come along with ring general shit, right? And with scoring the fights. The main thing is punches landed. So you don't get points for blocking a punch, but you do get points for blocking and encountering, which you only get 1 point, right? Unless you throw unless you land a 3-piece combination, then you're gonna get them 3. I don't know. That's why I say, why would they change something when they ain't even enforcing the shit that they already got? Because of home cooking, right? Like home cooking take away from the fight. A guy could be doing good, and just because the other guy is more popular and bringing in more money, and the fight would be close, they give it to the guy that brings in more money. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean by home cooking. Like they can't afford to give it to an unpopular fighter because they got to spend more money on promoting him and selling him to, you know what I'm saying, to the fan. When they let's take a guy like Canelo Alvarez who got a loyal following. They can't afford to let him lose in no close fights. So that'd be my thing about changing the rules, man. Because I mean, they should apply for everybody, not just for the home cooking guy. Like if a guy that's the favorite get his ass whooped in a decision, whether it's majority split, you know what I'm saying, or unanimous. You feel me? It shouldn't be no robberies. The scoring should be the same. So that's definitely what I'm saying. Gil Cole, Lil Rock, salute, fam. Gil Cole said Marlo Irv is my homie. Irv is my homie down here in Tampa. Been knowing him for years. Turned him on to y'all a while back. Oh, okay. Appreciate you. Fam, let me go and slide on over here. Shoot Earl. Shoot Irv his pistol, man. Hey, but you know what? Speaking of that, though, I'm just gonna go on and say what's on my mind, man. Look, I don't think um what's going on with the rematch with Spence and Bud is cool based on how they playing games with Spence. Um, I don't care if it's mind games. Anybody want to say? Because I know I done thought of every angle that somebody will defend the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And it don't make no sense when somebody gave you the opportunity um, that they gave you. You know what I'm saying? Gave you everything you wanted in the fight. All your wishes were granted. Y'all made a nice chunk of change together. Y'all made history. The rematch clause was your idea anyway, and and this is how you repaid a motherfucker. I recall the motherfucker saying that they wouldn't mind going to a 154. They was already done with 47 anyway, and this is how motherfucker repaid. Like like a motherfucker don't got no morals and no standard, man. And ain't no talking about, oh, that's my friend and he can't talk for me and all that. He been talking for you for a long time. Like all of a sudden now, is he can't talk for you? That's not a defense, but he ain't been talking. I just don't think that's cool, man. I really don't. Like the dude saying that F the rematch, this and that. If you want to give it a rematch, it's gonna be at 47. And I'm thinking in my head like, damn, the man said on TV and everything that he don't mind that he getting weight gain or whatever he said. I ain't repeating word for word, but it was somewhere in that context that he was tired of 47 anyway, and it wasn't no problem before the fight. But now after the fight, it ain't no 54 rematch. If you want the rematch, it's gonna be at 47. Now, the only reason why I'm saying that is because the dude put the shit out on Twitter and Instagram or whatever it was. But contractually, I don't think it's that easy or that simple. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I know in the contract is reasonable to say that the winner get to choose um, the weight or the winner get to choose, this or that. But it didn't happen in the first fight. It was strange. It was a coin toss and all that kind of stuff in the first fight. So I don't see the difference in the contract. I don't think that unless Earl's just too hell of a nice guy. But I don't think it's gonna be any difference, right? In the contract about who walks out first. It might be another coin flip. Um, I don't know about the rematch. I think this is it right here, unless the winner, which is Bud, want them to put add some more stipulations if I lose, kind of shit. But I don't even think it should be no drama with it, man. Oh, I don't think it should be at all. What's your thoughts on it though, Hyphy? If you heard anything about it?
All right, so first, I'm just gonna say, all right, me, I haven't watched none of these like Terrence interviews. He going on like this world media tour. I don't watch none of them interviews because I don't mess with none of them channels. So I don't know like what he be saying and what not saying, but I do know these YouTubers, they take somebody words and try to like flip it, and they put a title and make it seem, oh, he said this. So with that said, to me, I think we should just rewind back to basics and say, well, it was a rematch clause. So therefore you can't get out of a rematch or say, oh, the rematch not happening. It's a rematch clause. So it's happened. Now I know if we're talking about weight, I just think that's a negotiation tactic. Common sense would say Terrence would most likely play the card of, okay, I'm wanting at 147. If y'all wanted at a higher weight, I want a higher percent. Simple stuff. But as far as his weight stuff, once again, like if he out there on record saying, that's the only way I would believe it. If he was out there on record, and the only one that's probably credible to speak for him that we didn't see would probably be that Bernie the Boxer. If he ain't on record speaking about the weight, like if it's just rumors, then I'm just
No,
telling me
look,
I can't believe it.
it's old boy. The one that made is the one who made the fishnet uniform.
That Bernie the Boxer, brother.
Nah, they ain't Brandon boxer. It's old boy. He a boxer himself. Um,
Steven So Cold Nelson.
yeah. So Cole Nelson put it out on this
Okay.
Twitter. He the one who said it. And then uh, the weight thing. That's what I was saying earlier. That Crawford already said in the press conference that he was already getting tired of 47, and he don't got no problem with it being at 54. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't see how that could be a contractual thing when his word was his bond. We all said Earl kept his word. How come another motherfucker changing up the shit now? You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, for me, what I remember hearing from that press conference was he didn't specifically say 154. He said it don't have to be at 147. So maybe I know people would insist that, oh, that means he'll do it at 154. Obviously it's some weight in between that. I don't know. But like I said, if that's what if that's what Stone Cold is saying that Crawford is on, like, he basically went at 147 and no deal. To me, I would just take that as that's a negotiation tactic. Hey, if y'all want a higher weight, I want a higher purse split. That I would just take it as that.
Hey, but he gave him the higher purse split though. Like the whole fight wouldn't have went on if Earl wouldn't have gave him everything he wanted in the first fight.
Well, you know how they go. That was in. This is now. So
Well,
I'm talking about he playing. It just sound like he using that as a negotiation tactic to get more money.
I don't
Or
see,
it
you
might
know,
not even be money. It could just be other terms. Basically more terms in his favor. That's what I would take that as.
I don't even see no honor in that, man. Like I don't even see no honor. What reason to play games? The man could have went on and not even fought the man. You know what I'm saying? And then the motherfuckers would have been calling the man a duck. So now it's an excuse for another motherfucker to do something else. Like that's the weird shit I don't be getting. You gotta have the same energy. For you know what I'm saying? You can't change up energies, man, because it's the person that you like. You gotta have the same energy, bro. If Earl gonna be a motherfucking duck and not fight Spence, and you gonna call him a duck, and then the motherfucker gonna do the same shit in a rematch and don't and want to play these games, it should be the same energy, bro. Like ain't no excuses. It was fair and square when he lost, and it should be the same thing on the rematch. All right, shit, let's go on and do it at 54, like we said we was gonna do it. Why change up now though? Like what's the what's the needing for anything to change? Like what's the needing? He won undisputed. He had his chance. He said people wouldn't give him no chance. He thanked Earl for giving him the chance for making it happen. And then when he get the ball, he want to change up shit. Like where's the honor in that? That's all I'm saying. I'm just wondering because if Earl would have just walked away from the fight and not took the fight, it's all kind of ducks and shit. It's all kind of no. I'd rather just fight him at 54 where I'm more comfortable. I don't feel like I'm gonna make this weight no more. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't none of that going on. He took his licking and he kept it pushing and reactivated the rematch. That's all I'm saying. Like fuck all that uh negotiation or tactics. If you're trying to play mental games, that's one thing. But you going back on your word in front of people that heard you say that you was good with the 54 fight.
Well, that's where my thoughts get a little bit they differ from yours because like I said, I remember from that press conference, I heard him be asked, fighting at 154. I heard him say the rematch don't have to be at 147. So like I said, it's between 147 and 154. It's weight in between. So that's where my opinion would be different from yours. But now moving on to this whole the thing I was talking about using this as a negotiation tactics. I will say, and this didn't surprise me, when we see guys win that big fight that elevates them into stardom, a la we done seen Crawford going on these being on this, it's like this world tour, a media run. He, look at himself, okay, now he's that superstar. I expected these dudes to start acting someone would call him, a diva, for example. I already knew this was gonna come. All these fighters in the past, we didn't like Thurman, we didn't like Spence, we didn't like Crawford. Any one of them, they come into the light, the A side, whatever, they gonna start exercising that, flexing that muscle, that A side muscle, a la acting like a diva. To me, already expecting that. Going from one of the fight, the best fight to now is, he looking at it like he only fighting for money. He's a prize fighter. He's only interested in big money fights, not fighting the best. Some people would say Jerron Ennis. Nah, he interested in big money fights or nothing. I already expected this.
Look, now he's saying that he'll go up to 68 to fight Canelo. When before he said that's jumping up too far. I would never do that. Like just a lot of jumping around.
Yeah. Now that that win came and then it started being thrown out there, these internet outlets that just asking, well, we got Canelo out there also. Now when you're in that position and you saying, hey, a fight with Canelo is actually a possibility and is life changing money according to him. Yeah, I could see, I see why it's changing this tone. Um, like I said, it don't surprise me.
Yeah, motherfuckers all over that motherfucker all over the place. Like I said, I'm gonna keep the same. I don't respect that kind of shit, bro. It should be no hold up, no hiccup, no problem. If a motherfucker fight at 150, it wasn't no to me. I ain't leaving up no room. Like it's only the next weight class to 47. It don't have to be at 47 to 54. He was talking about fighting the Charlo brother at 54. So why when he fought fight Spence at 54? Like so, all the somatics and all that shit. I ain't finna fuck with that. Now he know I know what he meant. He put it right in perfect context. He said that it don't have to be at 47, and it wouldn't be no problem because right before that, Spence said at 54. You feel what I'm saying? So it ain't like no in between. He Spence called out the weight class and said if it's a rematch, it's gonna I'm gonna want it to be at 54, and he agreed that it don't have to be at 47. So that should be 54, not no, you know what I'm saying? Not no semantic ass bullshit games, bro. Playing motherfucker riddle me this and riddle me that. Like, nah, we know what that motherfucker meant. I just don't get it though. Like, go ahead.
Oh yeah, me like I said, a lot of people they might, well, it could be Terrence, whoever they might look at their favorite fighter and think, oh, this guy, he like this, he ain't like that. Listen, I look at all these dudes when they get into that position where they calling the shots and stuff. Oh yeah, they gonna flex their muscle and stuff. We didn't see it happening with Joshua. We seen how he was doing with Wilder. We seen how Tyson Fury did when he got into that position with AJ. I see all these dudes doing that. So I'm not saying like it's wrong. I'm just saying like I'm not surprised. So if this like could this be true? Hell yeah, it could be true. I don't think Terrence is he too good or he ain't like that. He too, fuck no. He'll do the same thing.
He in the same motherfucking boat, man.
Yeah, he'll be the same. He'll play these A side games. Um, all this stuff, people are, well, Floyd Mayweather, he was doing this, he did that, blah, blah. Everybody wants to be in that man position and they would exercise those same benefits.
Motherfuckers say what they would or wouldn't do until they get in the motherfucking shoes. But that's why I say the man all over the place. This man's swearing down, handshaking the motherfucker and everything. Swearing down he wanted that position, but when you get in that position, you're gonna change up. You know what I'm saying? Once the attention start kicking in, because I don't know what else it could be. I know this is probably one of the biggest paydays in his career, but at the same time, a motherfucker gave you that opportunity, made everything happen that you wanted to happen to make that opportunity for you. For the both of y'all to win. And motherfucker switch up on you, man. Ain't no honor, man. And he can't say ain't no honor among thieves. You know what I'm saying? Because these niggas is athletes. They ain't no motherfucking thugs. Fuck these niggas be thinking.
Like something that has recently been put out. It was said that Dimitri Bivol, he wanted he basically wanted a 50-50 split to fight Canelo in a rematch. Now, some people they look at that like, hey, that's laughable, knowing this dude he can't sell flies on blah 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 compared to this being Canelo. So maybe in the past, Dimitri Bivol, he might have said, oh yeah, I'm fighting for honor, I fight for my country, blah blah blah. Now that them tables in turn, he wants to flex his muscle as well. So it don't surprise me at all. But you just talked about the rematch and the money, but I will say I feel like this is just negotiation tactics, and that rematch will happen because um, even though Terrence he might have one fight, two fights where he could go make more money, those ain't guaranteed, and this is some guaranteed money. He liked it enough to accept the first time. He
Hey,
gonna he gonna do it again.
hey, the motherfucker is immediate though, so he can't fight nobody else.
Yeah, exactly, and it's a reason.
And it was like what, like 90 days or something like that, 90, 120 days for it to be activated, shit like that, something like that though. So he can't really do nothing else.
Um, why not? I see your chat jumping. I'm gonna let you hit your chat first before I continue.
All right, everybody talking right here. Oh, Rod X said defense is part of all sport. I'm gonna jump up here. I already read that. Rod X said, when was the last time the judge scored an even round? Actually, I believe there should be more even rounds scored in boxing. That's what I'm saying. Hype said, did you hear that uh, Eddie Hearn and the organizers in Saudi Arabia started Wilder versus AJ is not guaranteed to happen. They are not interested in paying big money for just any fights slash fighters. Right? They said defense is part of all sports. Man, uh, Herb said what's going on. We just chopping it up, man. Everybody talking to each other right there. Eric R said, "In a perfect world, we have Bud versus Spence too, with Stevenson versus Martin, and the undercard with Thurman versus Ugas. All the people saying they wouldn't watch it will tune in for that event. Hell yeah." Uh, Eric R said, "Toasted teardrop stains." Dr. Sophie in the building. Salute, fam. I'm caught up. I don't be reading when people talk to each other.
Yeah. Okay. One thing I mentioned earlier. No, we'll stick to this Crawford Spence stuff. But like I said, to me, at the end of the day, they signed for 2 fights because the money was good enough for both of them to do it twice. So like I said, that money to me, they still going to go ahead and it's going like the rematch going to happen one way or another. One thing that was spit out there that was misinformation. A lot of y'all know you seen this one. Like a lot of channels say, "Oh, 30 days went by and Earl he didn't activate the rematch. Oh, he ducked. He ducked." The rematch is the contract is said 30 business days. So he had 30 business days to, verbally request that rematch to go and take place. But even if it was like, I mean, like, just think about it. Does y'all really think Earl was not going to activate the rematch? Like, use common sense. Like, where could Earl go to make that type of money anywhere else? Of course, he was going to activate the rematch. People just need to use common sense.
They're not, man. They thinking that if they was Earl, you know what I'm saying? And they not Earl. Like I hear a lot of people say he shouldn't even had a rematch. Like motherfuckers like Stephen A. talking. Motherfucker, the way he squabbled, like he ain't never had a fight in his life. You know what I'm saying? So let alone to tell somebody that they need to retire after taking the L. You know what I'm saying? Preparation. It's a lot of things that go with this boxing shit, and preparation is one of them. And then a lot of these motherfuckers is not taking care of themselves in between fights. You know what I'm saying? They're not active enough. Like if a motherfucker was active, had 2 fights a year, they wouldn't have to really worry about the weight or cutting weight, right? Because they'll be in shape. You know what I'm saying? But when a motherfucker fight once a year, it'd be a motherfucker to be fucking with that weight. You never know what's gonna be your reaction. What's how your body gonna react if you cutting off a lot of weight. So that's the thing I don't be understanding about a lot of people that be speaking on this shit. It's a lot of shit that just come with this shit, not just getting up in the ring. You know what I'm saying? The motherfucker can go in the ring and not look themselves, and you wouldn't know if you don't know nothing about the sport why a motherfucker not look themselves. You know what I mean? Motherfucker be weight drained. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker be fucked over in that motherfucker in that ring. Barely can throw a punch. Barely can move. So for a motherfucker to say shit like that, it just be weird.
Oh yeah, we man, plenty of times we done expressed our displeasures with these layoffs in between fights, especially being, PBC fighters. I don't want to bore your chat with the stuff about the whole scoring and all that. I'm gonna just give you a summary. On Friday, Tim Bradley, he mentioned that there was a convention that took place some time ago that he wasn't aware of. He had found out afterwards, but he said it was a referee convention, and a judges convention, and they basically all came in agreement on what the new criteria was going to be. Now, this, even though the convention happened like within the last like couple years, they said like the scoring criteria that they have been using to judge fights, they've been doing this for like at least like the last decade of just this boxing stuff. So us fans, when we look at boxing one way, we spell, it's ring IQ general, what I mean, ring generalship, defense, effective aggressive. Um, what we thought it was, they have not been judging these fights based off that, and they just had a convention to basically make it official. But we wasn't notified about that. So us fans, we got to change the way we look at fights also, because that's not what the rules are anymore as far as the judging criteria.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's just weird to me that like it wasn't even announced.
Yeah, because the fighters need to know this too. So that means the fighters got to change their style. That's what I was saying earlier. Like, does that mean the fighter, like a boxer, he can't be a boxer no more? Then you know what I'm saying? Is it beneficial for? I don't know how, I don't know how the rules would change because it's gonna sway one way or another. Is it gonna be beneficial for the slugger, or it's gonna be beneficial for the boxer? It got to go which way, and I wonder which way would that be. It sounds like it's gonna be the slugger because the boxer been winning all this time. If you understand what I'm saying, like they want to see more knockouts.
Yeah, well, one thing that just really bothers me with this judging criteria. Okay, we all know the first two, you could be one, it could be 3 rounds, could be fill out rounds. Usually it's up to 2. But those rounds be so close, such little action happening. To me, I would hate for a fight to really come down to the first 2 rounds, which was fill out rounds. How did you score those rounds? Oh, it really wasn't no clear winner, so I'm gonna just go with the guy who scored the more. Who threw the more punches. Oh, well, this guy, he was backing up a little bit more, even though he wasn't getting touched or nothing. They filling each other out. Okay, well, this guy, he was moving forward more, so I'll just give him a round. That would be ridiculous to have fights be determined on such ridiculous points in the fight.
Yeah, but at least the fighter knows this, right? Like you can go into a fight. Like I done been part of fights where a motherfucker know that they down. Like for instance, Terrence Crawford versus Sean Porter. You know what I'm saying? A motherfucker know that the Crawford was down based on the rules that they know of. You get what I'm saying? So somebody outside the ring was able to tell him, "Hey, no, hey, you might be down, bro. You know what I'm saying? The way this fight going, you know what I'm saying? The way they've been scoring, you might be down," and that forced him to turn it up. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like it was a maybe I'm not that nigga tripping. I ain't down. No, he turned it up because he thought it could have been true that he was down because he the aggression and the effective aggression was, excuse me, was Porter. It favored Porter that at that point of the fight. So like it shouldn't be. It shouldn't. You couldn't favor like the way that it is, bro. It don't. It shouldn't. It don't favor no slugger, and it don't favor no motherfucking boxer. Like you still got to come and get your money. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why the first rounds can go for a motherfucker like a Canelo kind of style. You know what I'm saying? A guy who might not land a lot, but he's definitely chasing your ass around the ring, and you definitely got your back against the rope, and you ain't throwing hardly no punches in the first round. You know what I'm saying? You trying to wear him down, wear him down. You feel what I'm saying? Like, yeah, hold on.
I got. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but you feel what I'm saying though? Like, the game plan ain't for no one fighter. Like, if you change the rules, then it's gonna sway towards a particular style.
Yeah, hey, if you need to take a break for a second, I got you. Just let me know. But
My bro,
all right, yes. Well, I'm gonna catch up in the chat first. I see Eric R. He talking about that's messed up because everything is going to be geared towards Mexican style. That very well could be. That's unfortunate. Um, okay, yeah. Rodek, he said, yeah, here they recently have been scoring rounds on aggression. Yeah, that's unfortunately that's how it be. People look at aggression. So many times I'll be disappointed because you hear the crowd going crazy and you see if you pay attention, you can see the flights from cameras flashing ringside because they taking pictures when those hard power punches are coming in, but all of them could be blocked. The best example I could point out, go watch Floyd versus Oscar De La Hoya, and you see how the crowd just going crazy when Oscar just landing off combos, and all of those combos are being blocked. Yeah, they have been scoring close rounds on the grid. Yeah, usually most people they just say, okay, if it was a close round, you really can't decide. Nothing landed clean. Okay, well, who was throwing more punches? That's what most people usually do, and it's to me that's just it's a very flawed way of scoring a fight because we was always told defense was supposed to be in play, but it's like you favor offense over defense.
yeah, that's what it looked like. They gonna sway it to, man. Like, uh, the Mexican style or the brawler. Like that's the best way I'm gonna put it because I don't want people to think it's a race thing. It's just a style, and a lot of Mexican fighter style is the brawler the brawler style, the come forward. You know what I'm saying? The come forward style.
Yeah, Rod X said, yeah, those first couple of rounds is part of a boxing match. Take no rounds for granted. Yeah, now I agree on that. But what I'm also saying I got a problem with is if you got a round, those fill out rounds, they usually be real close. If you can't really come to a clear winner of that round, you should be able to score those rounds 10-10. Now however you want to judge them, you should be able to score those rounds, yeah, even. And I'm telling you, just watch these fights. You'll see a lot of those first two rounds, especially at the elite level, those rounds be even rounds. But these judges, they cannot call them even anymore. Um, and I'm gonna switch another topic because I don't think you covered it. Something that happened last week. What you got on this whole Frank Martin and Shakur Stevenson situation?
Man, I really don't like the situation. I don't. I heard, and I don't even want to repeat rumors, but if this is true, I heard Earl Spence fired goddamn Derek James, and Frank Martin ain't no longer with Man Down Promotions. Is that true?
Okay, I heard that, and see, I can't verify this. Don't take my word from this, nobody. I did hear something that Frank Martin he wanted to leave Derek James due to lack of time, but the type of promotional contract he's under with Man Down says that his trainer must be Derek James. Now, like I said, I don't know if that's true. That's to me, I said, yeah, you know how people be talking about like 360 deals in the music industry? That sounds like a 360 deal within his boxing.
Well, it's contractual, so I can like understand it. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want another motherfucker outside. That's why you don't see what's the name them in the same camp as the other the 60 Charlo, right? With old boy, what's his name? Um, what's the trainer name?
Derek or Ronnie?
Ronnie Shields. You know what I'm saying? Like they not in the same camp. Like they trying to keep they don't want nothing that goes on in their camp outside or leaked. You feel what I'm saying? And what's the name is in their camp. Like Frank Martin is actually in their camp. Like he be sparring with Earl and everything. Like it's just a contractual thing, man. Like trying to keep it in house. But I don't know. The reason why I brought that up is because that could bring some validity to what's going on with the Shakur situation. They probably want him to fight Shakur. They probably even want to put that fight on their undercard to bring in more interest, right? You know how people saying they don't want to see the rematch and all that kind of shit. And Eric R had brought up the perfect kind of scenario to make people interested in it. And Frank Martin versus Shakur was one of the fights. Bugis versus somebody, I forgot who he said, but it was a good card. You know what I'm saying? And that's the kind of shit that's gonna be good for a rematch. Like a lot of people don't be liking it, but the card gonna be good enough to where it's gonna sell. So I don't even know. Like I don't know how that would work, but I don't usually be paying attention to a ESPN fighter fighting a goddamn PBC fighter.
Now, something that you did mention in the same sentence, Frank Martin, wanted to leave, and then Earl wanted to leave. To me, I find it kind of funny. How could Earl want to give somebody a contract that says part of your contract means you got to be trained by Derek, but then Earl wants to leave Derek? I find that kind of funny. Now, that's two separate rumors. These rumors of Earl leaving Derek, to me, once again, that's just rumors. I don't. I don't know why people would come up with that. I know it's been YouTubers, Crawford fans that have been saying Derek needs to leave. I mean Earl needs to leave Derek. I know that, but like any sources and that, I don't know anything. Now I do know that it's his one character IOTBA. He he put out that Earl was leaving Derek, but we got to take in consideration he got a strong
Yeah,
hatred for Derek James.
and I wouldn't even want to hear. I wouldn't believe nothing he said.
Exactly. That's
I
what I'm
just ain't
saying.
damn hungry. A lot of these people just say anything, and I ain't with that. Like that's why I ain't even really brought that up. Like I'd rather because everybody make mistakes, right? Even if we felt Derrick James didn't do good or anything like that, maybe it was one of those moments where he choked up. I don't know. Maybe he was surprised that Bud came out in the southpaw stand. I don't know, but I know one thing: he should have prepared for it, and he was
Yeah.
acting like he didn't have nothing to prepare for. Like he was acting real confident that Earl was just gonna beat this boy in the regular orthodox stance. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that he was gonna come out in orthodox stance. Like you got to prepare for everything, though, bro, in a boxing match, especially a guy that you know that can switch stands. Some shit can be deceiving. You know what I mean? So I don't feel like he was prepared. I don't feel like Earl, weight drain or not. Some people we ain't making excuses. Like it ain't an excuse thing. Like it just a fact. Maybe he was. If he was or he wasn't, he still got his ass whooped.
Yeah. Okay. Eric R. He said I can see Earl bringing someone in camp but not leaving. I got to see it. But okay. Yes. Now see that's a good thing. Um, to me, it's gonna be hard to be one coach out coaching three coaches, especially in this situation. So, okay, one thing that we're seeing right now, Jamel Charlo, he's been trained like his last fight and this fight. He's been more primarily training with Johan Guzman, even though Derek is considered the head trainer. Now, a situation like that, it would possibly help. I mean, we seen Jamel look real good. We seen the improvements when he brought in Johan Guzman, and that's the way Johan Guzman fought, rolling off the rope, riding the ropes like that, counter punching better. So yeah, that definitely would help. Um, but once again, like these rumors that he leaving, from what I hear, like I said, it came from somebody that don't like Derek James, and it's being repeated by Crawford by his channels. So I wouldn't believe none of that. And I would ask y'all, don't even run with that stuff until it's confirmed. Just wait. Now back to this whole Frank Martin stuff. I'm gonna just tell y'all what I heard. I heard that um, okay, first they was close to an agreement. Frank Martin's side they called and they asked ESPN Top Rank, can they get another additional 500,000? ESPN they countered. They gave him I think like 200, like no, like 300,000 additional, so that pushed his purse that he was going to get a little bit over a million. Um, so Al Heyman was on board. Of course, TSPN Top Rank, they whole side was on board. Everybody was on board. When it was time for them contracts to be signed, they said Frank Martin didn't sign his. Now that's what I heard. Once again, that's rumor. I cannot confirm that. That's just what I heard.
Shit, that's true. That's some crazy shit. That's some crazy shit. I mean, Frank Martin do be talking about he want that kind of smoke. So I don't
Now,
know.
now where it do look bad, and we always see this happen when somebody put in some type of hot seat. Okay, we've seen Frank come out and say, that's not true, that's not true, but we haven't heard his side of the story yet. Of course, he's been quiet, social media and all that stuff. So it's looking like he looking bad in the public's eyes, and it's like he hasn't been able to come out and tell his side of the story yet, and he hasn't. So to me, all we could do is wait and see how stuff play out. I can tell you if the story that I told y'all, if that's accurate, oh y'all gonna see Frank Martin just sit on the bench. He gonna be real idle, and that would be his consequence for making such a move. And something that was explained, this is what happens sometimes when you got people in your corner that really don't know about the business of boxing, hyping you up, inflating your head, and thinking that you are worth way more than what you are. So I would hope that the story that I heard or any other stories about Frank Martin turning down this fight himself wasn't true, but one way or another, he didn't get the fight, and it's a bad look. So to me, he needs to clear his name.
I just find it strange that these kind of conversations is coming out by Shakur Stevenson. First, it was Devin Haney who did that. They brought out contract conversation, and then they proved that the contract bullshit was a lie. And then he pulled this is Shakur pulling out recorded conversations, secret recording of the daddy talking, giving him respect.
Yeah.
So like it's hard for me to even rock with with Shakur doing stupid stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, the world gives Shakur respect. Ain't nobody think that these guys could beat him. You know what I'm saying? There's just gonna be some good fights for him. But I don't know what reason he's thinking that contract talk, especially PBC and ESPN. I don't be believing that shit. Like, Bud had to get away to get this kind of fight that he just got. So you think that Frank Martin is really gonna be not Frank Martin, but Earl Spencer just or Al Heyman really just gonna be working with a young prospect like Frank Martin with a certified, you know what I'm saying, young contender or champion like Shakur Stevenson? Like, you gonna think that he gonna put him at risk like that so early? You know what I'm saying? I don't. It just don't be make some of the stuff don't make sense when you really think about it. Like, why would Al and Earl risk his young up and coming fighter and throw him in the ring with a motherfucker like Shakur? You know what I'm saying? I just don't. I don't know.
Okay, now you are onto something because that is one way of protecting your fighter if you feel that he's not ready. We've seen that happen multiple times, from all types of different promoters. One thing I also will point out that we've seen happen in the past, if you remember some years ago when Peter Quillen, he was ordered to defend his WBO versus the mandatory challenger, who was Matt Korobov at the time. Okay, he was basically advised by Heyman to drop the WBO, and then they watched Andy Lee and Matt Korobov fight for the WBO. Andy Lee ended up winning that fight, and then Peter Quillen he ended up fighting Andy Lee. So we do know that is in Al Heyman's playbook. In the past, it has been. We don't know if that's the case, but I'm just putting that out there. Secondly, Shakur and all this. I could see why some people don't be taking a liking to Shakur, but it also be some lies being thrown on his name. The way Shakur go about like a lot of that social media stuff, I'm not a fan of myself. But he appears to be one of the fighters. I'm not gonna say everybody ducking him, but he's viewed as a high risk fighter.
Yeah, he is. Like, it ain't no secret. Like, he ain't the first. Floyd was treated just like him. Oscar didn't want Floyd work, and Oscar was a gold medalist. Sugar Shane didn't want that work. He was chasing Oscar. You know what I'm saying? Like, it motherfuckers be knowing. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it was the same with Earl. Earl ain't no different. I mean, he met his match at 47, or it was his time at 47, no matter which way it went. But it happens like that. Like, it ain't no guarantee for none of these fighters, man. Like, what if you seen the fight with Mayweather versus Shane Mosley, right? You seen how that happened. Like, you seen it wasn't easy fucking with Shane, the older Shane. Imagine if they fought at the 35 and they really was risky. You know what I'm saying? They really wanted to get down. That would have been a way better fight, right? I mean, in my opinion, I think that would have been a better fight for Shane Mosley at 35. For all of us, not just for them, but for all of us, to see Mosley versus Floyd at 35. But they didn't want that work. What you think?
Oh yeah, I remember that whole saga like it was yesterday. The post fight ring. Shane saying he wants to go on vacation and his tooth. I remember that whole saga, man. It's just like one of those. Hey, if it coulda, woulda, shoulda happened, whatever. But hey, we got it when we got it. All right, Eric R. He said, yeah. Okay, yeah. Until 3K. Okay, so he talking about this website called Three Kings Boxing. Um, that's a website that just give you the news straightforward. They link their sources every time they drop the source. I respect that site a lot. Um, okay, then he say, yeah, Frank Silent sounds like he was advised not to. Like I said, that very well could be. If Frank just sit idle and don't get no fights over a long time, then I would believe that that's Al Heyman punishing his ass for backing out on his word. Um, Eric, yeah, he also said yeah, they might be looking to cash Frank out if Ryan Garcia becomes available. Um, yeah, that's an interesting one because yeah, obviously they under the same trainer now. D'Lo, he didn't fail in the building. He said Shakur thought he was clearing his name, but it
Salute, bro.
wasn't real. Yeah, he said it wasn't well received by. Yeah, it's a certain group of people that just dislike Shakur because look at it, he didn't had words with pretty much like every like rival fighters. So therefore it's like his fan base is all these fighters and they kind of don't like Shakur. Plus they don't like this reputation that he building up. Um, all right, so yeah, D'Lo, he said Frank may never get a better opportunity than that Shakur fight. I hope I'm wrong. I want to see him versus the field at 135. Okay, yeah, he's saying he up there in age because he's at like that prime age. I think he like 29 to 30. Um, and I be seeing some people they like to make fun. Oh, haha, he a 30-year-old prospect or whatever. Whatever. I just felt like at this time, I thought that if the opportunity came, I believe that he was somebody that would have took that fight. Once again, it's a lot of questions around what happened with Frank, and he's been silent, so people can only speculate. And I think he could be in a position where okay, he wants to clear his name for one if it's not him, but if for him in order for him to clear his name, he would have to throw somebody else that he's very close with under the bus. At regard, he said, "Yeah, I love the late Emmanuel Stewart and Roy Jones Jr. saying that publicly that Mayweather was high risk, low reward. I thought undefeated Mayweather and Mosey at one. Okay, yeah, that would have been a good one. All right, that's the chat for now.
But yeah, man. Yeah, I think that would have been a good fight too. But that shit right there don't make sense now. But who contractually, what was the contract? Who was gonna be the host? Was it gonna be PBC? Was it gonna be ESPN?
Okay, so it was going to be on ESPN, Top Rank, which didn't surprise me that they got it anyways, because basically it was common sense that Top Rank and ESPN they willing to put more money behind they fighter to get that side that fight on their network as opposed to PBC and Showtime, which I mean honestly they kind of having like some issues with their networks and stuff. So yeah, it was going to be going over there, but see here's the thing, the WBC they didn't want to order that fight until they had verbal agreements from both sides that if they ordered this fight that they was going to go through with it because earlier this year I mean excuse me last year the WBC they had ordered like these fights with fighters PBC fighters and none of those fights was going through, so they wanted to get confirmation before they went ahead and like publicly ordered that fight for that vacant WBC, and then they did. So then they instead of even coming to going to a purse bid, they came to an agreement. They didn't have to go to purse bid. So it was definitely some positive talks. And Top Rank and PBC, they were serious about having this fight. So somewhere along the line, something changed. Unfortunately, that make it look bad on Frank.
Well, I mean, it looked bad. It looked bad on them. I mean, but they did make it public, right? Like it wasn't like it was some secret. Like, and then that's what I was saying about Shakur. Like, if he really Shakur making shit public. So I don't know, man. I wouldn't want to see uh them throw that I know I ain't gonna even call him young. Throw him this prospect, up and coming prospect in there with a seasoned young hitter like Shakur. It just don't make sense. Like I don't. Did anybody hear Al Heyman say that for real? Like business wise, it don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Or even messing with the opposition, like doing business with the opposition like that, it still don't make sense. Like why not do the same thing that they did with Crawford? You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna do no business with you until you get away from this, till you get away from them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Because they ain't trying to do business right. So like I don't know, man. It's still some fights on the table for him, man. There's still a lot of PBC fights on the table for him. You know what I'm saying? At 135. There's some already negotiated shit. Hell, he could fight Ryan Garcia and make over $1 million, make more than $1 million. And it don't have to be a 50-50 split. If he fight Ryan Garcia, he still make more than $1 million. If he fight Ryan Garcia and it's 70-30, he gonna make more than $1 million. That dude got Instagram following, man. That dude got, you know what I'm saying? He be bringing shit to the table. You see, him and Tank, what they hit 800,000 views, buys. I mean, then near a million. I think it was a million. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. The only thing is okay, right now, Frank, he don't. It's not like he got something lined up where you say, oh, we decide to pass on that because we got something big. I mean, shit, some type of big fight, a bigger fight, better come soon to kind of help him out. To to relieve all this pressure that the fans is putting on him to make him not look like he wasn't ducking. But other than that, it's still gonna look like a duck, and that's just gonna be in bad light of the people. So okay, yeah, D'Lo, he said yeah they were going to purse bid, and PBC rarely wins those. So ESPN was going to put it on. Okay, yeah, Shakur, he fighting Edwin De Los Santos also. Hold that thought. That's a good one. Say Frank is a contender at this point. He fought his way to get to these type of agreed. He fought his way to get there, a la his ranking. We need less of the A side, B side of the street stuff. Eric Garcia, Martin is 30 years old. He don't got the time to pass up a fight like that, especially somebody that ain't been a champion yet. Okay, Ryan, he's a 140 fighter now, and they got the same trainer. Huge conflict right there. Okay, Adilo, he giving us the correct age of Frank Martin, 28. Eric R, he said, I just wasn't feeling the fight happening on a Thursday during football season. Eric, we listen to that same channel War Week, so he also advised us that due to NFL season and college football season coming to play, we should expect to see a lot more fights be on Thursday and Friday, like we just seen over the weekend with the ESPN card. And I'm fine with that because you'll probably be competing against less main events. You don't got to worry about competing against Bellator, the big college football game, UFC sometimes. So to me, I'm actually fine with that. D'Lo said, "Oh yeah, but I agree, it's now." Okay, so I told D'Lo to hold this comment about okay, yeah, the Evan de los Santos. So this where it gets shaky. That's also a PBC fighter. So he can't use that. Or it's the politics. You can't use that. So I mean, now we got to get. Hey, well, is Evan de los Santos somebody that's worth risking? But I mean, like, let's be honest. It's not like Frank Martin got some type of hometown where he be packing out city where he's from, or he be doing real good gates. Respectfully, Frank Martin, his last, he made 75,000 his last purse, so it's not like he's just a big ticket seller, big draw or anything. So it's like, why would what would PBC be saving them for, as opposed to willing to throw out Edwin De Los Santos? To me, they in the same boat. So I just don't get it. Like, trying to save Frank Martin for what? Like I said, unless some news come out of like him even in a bigger fight right now,
Look,
I don't see it.
Napoleon Armstrong, salute, bro. Look, the main thing is business wise. Like y'all just making it seem like these motherfuckers just willing to jump out the window and do business with Top Rank. When it ain't been like that, I don't see why would it change. It's people like I mentioned Ron Garcia, and I heard somebody say he had 140, but it's way more guys. It's Tank Davis still at 135. You know what I'm saying? That's a big draw for him. Why would they sacrifice Frank for one of them? Like sacrifice Frank to ESPN and not their own, if you know what I'm saying. Why won't they let put that on somebody else's resume and let Top Rank fish for whoever they need to fight? And damn, excuse the dogs in the background.
No, I definitely agree with what you're saying. My only thing is, once again, if they had this mindset going forward, to me, they should have been willing to stand on their nuts and say, we're going to take this to purse bid and we're going to win this purse bid to make sure the ball is in our court. Or if they just didn't want to work with Top Rank ESPN at all, they had a chance to say no before the WBC ordered it. Because like I told you, the WBC got confirmation from both sides that they was willing to work with each other. So that's the only part where it's like I disagree with based off what I know. I said Napoleon, he didn't fell in the building. D'Lo said I thought they could potentially be saving him for a tank. And once again, that announcement better come soon, but I don't think it is. Yeah, Eric R. Yeah, Evan, he's also with PBC, Big Boys Boxing. If we didn't say PCU, salute. He coming from New Zealand. He said Frank wanted
Big
more.
boy, salute, fam.
Frank wanted more money, and the only way that would happen is a purse bid. No way PBC fighter going to purse. Yeah, they do not be winning purse bids when they come. You're right. Okay, D'Lo, he said, yeah, Top Rank and PBC do more business than people realize at that level. That's something else that me and D'Lo be talking about behind the scenes. Very true. Eric R said, yeah, making my theory look stronger. Yep. Big Boys said, don't think De La Santos will want as much money. Yeah, that's possibly true as well. And plus, he probably looking at it. The money ain't the biggest prize for him. It's that title fight. Um, yeah, Eric R. He clowning about the dogs in the background. D'Lo, he said WBC was just going down the rankings, and Frank was the first one to say, yeah. Like I said, D'Lo, they got confirmation from both sides that they was willing to work together. They didn't want to just order some, this purse bid. With this vacant title, didn't want to just order these two fighters to fight each other, knowing that damn well the both sides wasn't even going to be willing to work together. So they gave them confirmation that they was going to actually make this fight happen. So that to me, that excuse is just not valid. But what you got something on it, Marlo?
No, I don't. I ain't seen no. I don't even know if this is true or not. Like it just, it just don't even sound right. Like why would they throw their young gun to help out another motherfucker that they ain't been cool with? That's all I'm saying. Like if y'all seen any receipts or anything to validate the Al Heyman, and because he up under a man down promotion. So if it, Earl got a lot to do with that too. You know what I'm saying? Earl could have pulled his ass out like hell no. I don't know, but I ain't seen no receipts, so it just don't sound right. That's all I'm saying. Like, why would they throw him to Shakur? Like, Shakur signed with Top Rank. It's up to Top Rank to get him high profile fights. It ain't up to PBC to do so when they got fighters that in that motherfucking not many. They ain't got many. Don't get me wrong, but they got fighters that can use that a caliber fight. You know what I'm saying? That's my point. Like, it just don't make sense.
Yeah, so I mean, one receipt to counter your argument would be the fact that it didn't even go to purse bid. They both informed the WBC, Top Rank and PBC, yo, we came to an agreement on this fight to have it be hosted by Top Rank ESPN. That, like I said, that defeats that, which makes it crazy. Hey, if they had second thoughts and later said, nah, we making a mistake by throwing Frank Martin in, then yeah, uh, that was bad on their part. But I just don't know. But man, maybe something to come out of it. The truth, maybe it will, maybe it won't. Dito said Frank versus so he's up there. He said yeah, PBC they really win these purse bids. He also said they just didn't want another Wilder versus Ruiz. Yeah, we remember Wilder versus Ruiz, Sebastian Fundora versus Tony Harrison. Those type of situations. You was ordering mandatories and fights for nothing. None of those fights happened. Wasting time. He also said Frank versus Shakur isn't a high profile fight. Yeah, it's a
If it ain't a high profile fight, then why you want to see it, nigga? Why is you? Why is it a problem? Why is it a problem that he turned down the fight? Oh, everybody talking about that he turned down the fight. If it ain't a high profile fight, now explain that, then,
man. Big boy. He says, if anyone else accepted the fight, then pulled out after accepting the order, they would drop a few places in rankings. So yeah, will WBC punish Frank Martin? Got to wait till the rankings come out. That's another good question. Eric R. He says PBC might be doing the Pit Bull Cruise experiment. If Edwin loses in a great fight, a star is born. If he win, that's even better for him. But if Frank Martin loses, he'll be considered trash to the casuals and stuff. Hell, even the hardcore, like all them damn Crawford fans, oh, they waiting for that because it's a relation within that rivalry. So yeah, they waiting to bash him also. D'Lo, he says Frank has said things, but never called BS on the agreement. TGB, Tom Brown, they never refuted it either. That's also a good point. Big Boys, he also says Ruiz should be punished in the rankings too. Man, I don't know what the hell went on with that whole situation.
talking about
Uh,
Andy.
yeah, Andy Ruiz and the whole Wilder situation. I just don't know because but Big Boy, I'm gonna say I can't put it all on Ruiz because they on the same side. All he's saying is like the money wasn't right. Um, but I mean, I don't know if like they countered offered or anything. I don't know. D'Lo, he said it's a good fight among contenders at 135 for a strap. Yeah, to me, it's like two of the best guys at one. You know, to me, it's definitely a title fight. It's definitely title fight worthy. The two guys that's fighting for it. I think that PBC they probably was hoping that Frank Martin would
One of
get
these
his
guys,
title shot where
one of these
somebody like
guys,
easier.
one of these guys is a former champion, respectfully, and an Olympian. It ain't like what D'Lo trying to make it seem. You know what I'm saying? Shakur need one of these kind of fights up under his belt, man. That's all I'm saying. He need one of these names. Why do you think he run around chasing Devin Haney, Frank Martin? What's the other Hispanic cat name? Uh,
Um. Oh
what's
yeah,
the,
he's also got a Isak Cruz
it's a
before.
Hispanic cat that's calling him out on Twitter.
Whoa, William Zepeda.
Zepeda, like he ain't even trying to take that fight. He want these other fighters. He want Frank Martin. He want Devin Haney. Like he needs these kind of names. So I don't. That's why I'm saying a high. It's for him. Like it don't benefit Frank Martin. It benefits him. And I ain't saying that Frank Martin can win. I'm saying that this is what uh Bob Arum needs to do for Shakur to get him these fights, to get him some recognition. Frank don't need that. You know what I mean? Frank don't need it. Y'all saying that he can, that's gonna be the highest purse for him, and no, it's not. It's fighters on PBC that can get him the same amount of money or even more if you fight at 35 or 40. So I just don't get it. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm not saying I know Shakur can probably beat him most likely. It's not a beat thing or a win thing. I'm thinking more, why? How do it make sense? You feel what I'm saying? Unless I see somebody in the comments say they trying to throw Frank Martin under the bus or something. Now if they doing that, then that make a lot of sense. But why would they just throw Frank Martin in there like that at this point right now when he building up a decent buzz? Why would they put him in there in a risky kind of fight for no title? Like Shakur don't got a title at 35 yet.
Okay, now let me pivot off that because you mentioned the guy William Zepeda who just fought over the weekend. Now, if you remember, Shakur, his last fight, it was the same thing. They was going throughout the rankings trying to find an opponent. Isak Cruz, his team said no. Then they got to William Zepeda, Golden Boy fighter. Same thing. His team said no. Now, people was accusing William Zepeda of ducking Shakur Stevenson. William Zepeda said, "Look, I don't do all this social media stuff. I said yes to the fight. My team, Golden Boy, they said no. We are not interested." So William Zepeda, it's like, do we say Zepeda's a duck or was his team not interested? But to me, Zepeda, I can't call him a duck. He said he was interested in the fight. His team said no. Um, but now, he did say he wanted Devin Haney, and he once again he's reiterating he's not afraid to fight Shakur, and he will fight Shakur.
Well, it's a guy on there that was calling out, and I think he owns the top rank too. That Spanish guy.
Oh, you talking about Raymond Muratala? I know you talking about.
Yeah, I was gonna say he got like a syllable ass name, like two names.
Yeah, he from
He
like Pomona.
he asking for the fight, calling out Shakur Stevenson, and Shakur Stevenson not even recognizing him. Like he adding them and everything.
Oh, hey, or you could be talking about the guy Jermaine Ortiz. You might be talking about him.
I can't
The one
remember the cat
he,
name, but
Jermaine Ortiz been going to Shakur fight, saying that he want him.
I'm
So you
just saying
might be
this
talking about
motherfucker
him.
that's actually on the same roster as him, that's calling out the fights. That's some decent names that he can get. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is the risk? What is the reward for Frank? I know what the reward is for Shakur. Like I'm saying though, like I'm not in the favor of helping out a motherfucker that don't want to see the next motherfucker that shit on the next motherfucker. If you understand what I'm saying? I'm not. If a motherfucker don't want to do business with somebody that shitted on him, why do people try to force a motherfucker to do business? I just don't get it. Like it just don't make sense. And this ain't got nothing to do with Shakur. Shakur is a top ranked fighter though. And that's the business that I'm speaking on. Like what benefit is it to throw Frank in there unless they're trying to throw his ass under the bus? What benefit is it? Because it's a lose-lose situation. What is Frank gonna win out of this? That's what I'm thinking about. Like, I don't know, man. Like, if that's true, then wow, something really going on in that little camp over there, in the man down promotion camp. That's really where Frank assigned to. I was like an advisor role, but the promotion is man down. So they the ones gonna lose. So I don't understand that. Like y'all saying Al this and Al that. What about Earl? Like what do I don't know who the fuck representative is. But y'all know what I'm saying. Like what about whoever representing man down, which it could be Al Heyman, I don't know. But I don't I'm trying to hear some man down promotions said this, not Al Heyman, because Al Heyman don't really even speak. So I don't know, man. That's just what I'm thinking. Like a lot of stuff don't make sense. So now Al Heyman talking, now Al Heyman putting out press clippings and shit when he normally don't do that.
I'm gonna catch up a little bit. Some comments coming in. Appreciate the chat. So yeah, yeah, D'Lo, he was still talking about Edwin versus Shakur. He said, yeah, it's he said he was basically saying that the Frank Martin versus Shakur fight is bigger because of the Spence Crawford element. Um, oh yeah, he said Frank is not a name yet. Big boys. He's talking about Wilder Ruiz. He said the WBC ordered the fight, and Ruiz said he would take it, but when he couldn't get 10 million, he pulled out before the purse bid day. So yeah, he punished him. That's just gonna be something that you see. That's why guys like Wilder and Ruiz, they just being inactive, they sitting because they feel that they have an overly inflated worth, and nobody's willing to pay them the type of money that they're requesting. And I mentioned this earlier in your chat, Marlo. Now even Saudi Arabia, they said, "Oh, don't expect us to just be, throwing big money out to any and everybody." That's definitely not happening. Which is why Eddie Hearn had to come out and say the fight happening in Saudi Arabia is not a guarantee, and they might have to look at other locations of hosting it now.
Yeah, cause look what Eddie Hearn did with the rematch versus oh boy, wasn't that in Saudi Arabia? The rematch
Yeah.
versus
Yes.
AJ, that
Yep.
shit was trash, bro. It wasn't nothing like the first fight. So they sold the first fight to the Saudi Arabians, and then when they got there, the motherfucker ran. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, like this wasn't no Ali performance, nowhere near no Ali performance. The motherfucker, the first fight, the second fight was nowhere near the first fight, man. The motherfucker was super overweight, super slow. AJ was super tentative. He was stayed on his back foot. He wasn't very active for nothing in the world. He looked like as if he made it to 12 rounds, that he was gonna get the victory anyway. That shit was trash. And so I know the reviews said a lot of shit about it. So why would they want to throw more money out there like that if they're gonna have events like that, man? They paying for knockouts, not no motherfucker Ali impressions.
Well, yeah, and see, they feel like if they're gonna pay the most money, they at least want fights. They want A+ fights and fighters that's gonna come in the A game, and that's something that these fighters better be aware of. If y'all finally get to a point where y'all getting the big money, y'all got to show them it's a reason why I deserve that big money. You can't be going out there and playing around. Um, D'Lo, he said, Zepeda and Cruz turned down Shakur. Zepeda called out. And yeah, I had addressed that earlier. Zepeda, he said he never turned it down. I did see Golden Boy who said, well, they're not interested. D'Lo, he said, wrong. Shakur is the prize for Frank, not the other way around. The name's at 135 right now, Shakur, Loma, and Tank. Well, apparently for them, Shakur ain't the prize. I think they want the belt. They just don't want to go through Shakur to get it. Oh, okay, yeah. Oscar, he says Zepeda not ready. Okay, well that kind of backs up what I said. Oscar stepped in and said, Zepeda not ready then, but that wasn't Zepeda turning it down. Remember, just like when Ruiz and AJ, they offered him a fight. That wasn't Luis Ortiz who turned it down. That was his promoter that baffled it, but he didn't duck it. D'Lo, he said it's usually the suits behind the fights. Yeah, not happening.
Yeah, I
Eric,
was gonna say that.
oh,
I
go
said
ahead.
we can't just call a fighter a duck because his promoter said he ain't ready or he didn't
Hmm.
want that fight. Like that's a business decision. That's not the fighter.
Correct. Eric R. He said that's why I said they might be cashing Frank out and looking to sign Ryan. Well, okay, from what I was told, the issue with between Ryan Garcia and Golden Boy, that's really not Ryan Garcia. It's Ryan Garcia's management. You know, Golden Boy has a problem with, but Ryan Garcia, he has a date set in stone, so it's not like he's about to be a free agent right now. So don't expect PBC looking to make a move on him, at least in the time being. And to me, you know, you don't. I don't know. It's just too much for like something that's not even a possibility, like no guarantee. Um, all right, so yeah, D'Lo, he said, okay, yeah, Devin De Los Santos, Big Boys, he said a couple. Everyone was for y'all. Martin Bacoli versus Fury. Oh, okay, is almost made and looks like Joseph Parker will fight Simon King. Oh, okay, so so they're gonna have some heavyweight bouts on the undercard. Okay, okay. I gotta look into that when I get off here. D'Lo, he said PBC does business with Top Rank, especially when it's title limited. Yeah. They'll send fighters like Edwin De Los Santos, basically, fighters that
And,
are
and
disposable.
Coraball and fucking
Javier Fortuna.
yeah, like that's what I'm saying, D-Lo. Like I know they do business. Like I'm not saying that. You know what I'm saying? They'd even let motherfucking what's his name go around, move around. The Rougarou. When they was messing with, I think Al Heyman still his advisor.
Mm-mm.
Rougarou. He
No,
ain't.
no, they don't have him. No.
Oh, but they did though.
Yeah, well, once they worked with him for like one fight.
Yeah, Derek Bailey, salute, fam. But I'm not saying that like that. You getting me twisted in what I'm saying. I'm not saying that they don't do business. I am saying that it got to be beneficial towards them. Like Korobov, them letting Korobov go and do whatever. If he come back and bring the title, it benefits them. If he loses, it's really like a win-win. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not, it don't make sense. That's all I'm saying, bro. Like I'm not saying they don't, but motherfuckers using each other and it's blatant. That's why you hear those words talking about motherfuckers don't exist and all that shit playing these games. Like I'm not the one who I'm seeing this with my own eyes. D'Lo said I was saying that Marlo was talking about Edwin De Los Santos sharing Shakur, harassing Shakur for a fight for months. Oh, that's his name, De Los Santos. Hyphy.
Oh, okay, well, okay, yeah. So
Remember I was saying the
yeah.
dude had like two names.
Okay, yeah, so that's the one. Yeah, you talking about he made a video and he told Shakur, I'm in your hood. Yeah. Funny. But yeah, and that's one thing I just want to say. This goes about any of these fighters, whether it be Shakur Stevenson, um, Jerron Ennis. Look, it might be the certain fights that they want or appear to want in the public that they may not get. But don't let nobody tell you anybody in boxing they can't get no fights. They being ducked by everybody. Every one of these guys could get fights.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, put that aside.
It just be the business thing. Like y'all say, purse bids, PBC don't win purse bid. Like they know what they working with. I'm not. And Bob used to do the same thing. Like Bob wasn't he would low bid purse bids and let him go. Like Bob wasn't a motherfucker who like unanimously. Oscar De La Hoya is another motherfucker. Don't nobody really because they don't want to lose no money. A purse bid can possibly have you losing money in a fight if the fight don't do well. That's why motherfuckers I'm like doing purse bid. So I don't really look into that. Like, okay, say a motherfucker do a purse bid and get a split uh 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 60-40 or 30-50 or whatever the money be. You know what I'm saying? A 1.5. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times the fighter, the promotional company, whoever gonna be hosting the event gonna cost more than that. So they gonna need everything they gonna need back. These fighters gonna be wanting to put the shit on pay-per-view. Maybe if it's on ESPN Plus or wherever it's at, it's still gonna cost. So I'm just saying, like, motherfucker ain't just gonna be paying for no any old thing. Is Frank Martin putting asses in seats like Shakur Stevenson? That go a question right there. Is do y'all think that Frank Martin is putting more asses in the seats than Shakur Stevenson?
Well, I mean, Shakur, he's proven that as far as fighting in Atlantic City, that he could definitely pack an arena. So I give him that. I don't think we could say the same about Frank. But he hasn't had too many fights where he's been showcased as a main event. So like he's still being built up. D'Lo, he said, yeah, they said rumor has it that Eddie has soured the relationship with the Saudis very recently. Hey, that's something I'll probably have to wait and hear more about that. Also, Big Boys, he said the Saudis would have felt ripped off big time for that boring marathon talking about AJ versus Ruiz. D'Lo, he said a win over Shakur does much more for Frank than a win over Frank does for Shakur. True. The question is, are they willing to take that risk? And it seems like not. Oh yeah, Derek Bailey, he's in there. So D'Lo, he also said Ryan also has the same. Oh yeah, we definitely
Hey,
mentioned
who
that.
said that? Derek Bailey?
Yeah, that's D'Lo still speaking.
Yeah.
He also says, okay, yeah, he was talking to you. Oh yeah, Castagna versus Teixeira. That's another fight. Um, okay, Irv, he said Saudi Arabia told the world that they was outputting themselves up to all boxing venues and they okay. Well, like I said, it's not yet. It's just sound like they protecting themselves. They just probably saying they not going to be just picking up every fight, throwing big money out to everybody. They being selective, and you got to do that in the business of boxing to definitely stay in the business of boxing. D'Lo, he said Marlo, that's actually the guy Shakur is fighting, and he is with PBC. Okay, you talking about De Los Santos? Or he said for a country trying to get more visitors, big fight, the fights are key. Yeah, that's true, but like I said, they probably don't want to overpay for a fight. And like I said, we don't even know. They might still still be interested in that fight, and that's not the only fight that's out there. They might be interested in other fights. Uh, these he said purse bids are like an auction. Yeah, and the crazy thing is like you only get one chance to put in a bid. That's the crazy part about it. Uh, we recently seen it was the Usyk versus the Dubois fight. We thought that Eddie Hearn was gonna win that, and he didn't. Remember when Regis Prograis fought Jose Zepeda, Marv Nation? They came and won that. We was like, who the hell is Marv Nation? Oh yeah, Daily Betty, he said AC is a home crown for Shakur. All right, I'm caught up on the chat now, so yeah, like I said, whatever happened between them is like we don't know. We probably just got to wait to see if something else come out. We don't, but the people they're gonna form their own opinions based on what happened or what did not happen, what was said or was not said. But all we know is it looked, the finger points at Frank and his team, and definitely Frank. So y'all come to whatever conclusions y'all come to.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I have no idea, man. I ain't even like I said, I gave my point. I ain't gonna go too deep into that because I don't know enough about it. I just say, like I said, it don't make sense.
I can't do the impression right, but all rise. We have
Round
honorable.
salute, bro.
Yeah. Peace, my brother.
Yeah,
Um,
that right there, I don't see it, bro. Like that's throwing yo. Ain't that motherfucking what's the name? Best piece in his stable. Um, motherfucking Spence. That's his best piece in his. Matter of fact, that's his only fighter, ain't it? If I ain't mistaken.
we could say I would say Spence was, let's just say, if not his second best piece, at least his third best piece in his stable.
Yeah, that's barely making his money. That's barely getting off the ground. This don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? There's other people that got belts that's in his stable that he can put him in there and give him his first loss to. Like I said, I don't know. And D'Lo still acting like I'm talking about like if Frank can beat Shakur. That's not what I'm saying, brother. I'm saying that's a loss anyway. If you're gonna get that loss away, why don't you get that loss to Tank Davis? A pay-per-view fight. That'll be a pay-per-view fight for Tank Davis. And another hype for these boxing commentators to talk about it. I think he, even though he a southpaw, I think he that's a better risk for man down, a pay per view fight that's gonna get him some money. That's gonna get him a couple million, and probably a loss, a knockout loss or something. And it's in house, and it's gonna raise my fighters stock up in the game, in the pay per view game. Like I don't get it. That's all I'm saying.
Now, if that's the case, then we would have to point the finger at Earl, because we've seen Earl on social media saying it was a quote, something of the lines of, they're not top rank, they're not going to let the young pup talking about Shakur fight Frank Martin. So stuff like that. And then it's like, when push came to shove, it didn't happen. So that would look bad on them. But like I said, I don't, we just
Not
don't know.
business wise though.
Yeah, it
Not
would look
business.
like they both got caught.
Yeah, like okay, maybe he was letting his fighter get a little ahead of himself. You know what I'm saying? But maybe a motherfucker was like, no man, this motherfucker on the contract for 5 years. This is damage his success that we already built. I don't know what the fuck they talking about. You feel what I'm saying? But to take an L, that's not worth it. It's not a title on the line. It's nothing. Like, why not give him the Tank Davis then? If you're gonna throw him under the bus, why not? Like, why you not gonna throw him to one of your own fighters? You know what I'm saying? That's gonna get him a couple million if you're gonna take an L. That's gonna put him on a bigger stage if you're gonna take an L. That's the part that I'm saying. Like, it don't matter about. I'm talking about the two stables. Like, what make more sense for man down promotions with a 10% or 5% or whatever is gonna come out that motherfucking purse? What make more sense? They getting way more if they make 2 million or 1.5 million versus Tank Davis than they would in a purse bid that probably ain't gonna go nowhere over 1 million. You know?
Yeah, good point. So D'Lo, he said he eager to see what is next for Frank. And now at the end of boy, like I said, we just gotta wait and see. I don't even know, but there's just gonna be something that's definitely talked about a lot, because it happened. The fight didn't come to fruition. It is what it is. Right now, like I said, another one, we up in arms. We don't know what's going to happen with Wilder. I heard somebody say Wilder talking about retiring now.
At this point, y'all, D-Lo, this for everybody though. I be seeing why fighters gonna be wanting to lose their L, bro. Like motherfuckers be down playing rematches and shit. Motherfuckers be talking about a motherfucker should retire after the first loss. Like I see why these fighters don't be want to lose their L. Like how can they defend it back? Motherfuckers say, oh yeah, you just lose and just go back to fight lower caliber fighters and come back later on down the line and shit like that. Like ain't nobody trying to take those losses and start all over again. Why a motherfucker ain't gonna be able to get his rematch? Why the money is no interest in a rematch if a motherfucker lose? That don't even sound right. But to some people, that's how they feel. Like they're gonna stream the fight if it's a rematch if the other guy loses. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not worth it. It's not worth it to some of these fighters to lose they owe if that kind of shit gonna be happening with the fans.
Priority chat. We got a donation that came in. Uh, our brother Joseph Brown dropping that half a dub on the corner. He said, "Salute Shakur Stevenson running with the duck playbook that so many fighters run with." But he, when he got a fight against a tough opponent who wanted to fight him, what he needs to focus, because De Los Santos is for real. Yeah, he got a tough opponent who's not a big name compared to other guys. He don't have as many fans as a Frank Martin, so no, it's not going to be as big of a fight as a Frank Martin. But nonetheless, he got a tough fight, and yeah, you said right. He better be focused on this fight, because he might have been, he might have went through a downfall where it's like, damn, he got his hopes up and then he lost the fight. So he might find it hard to get up for De Los Santos. But yeah, he better find a way to get up for this fight, because De Los Santos, he not coming in with this, if I take a loss, it's over for me. He already took a loss before. So he coming to
I
win.
appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, we appreciate you for that half a dub. On hey, I see Ernest Davis. He didn't fell in here,
Ernest
but
Davis, salute, bro. What's happening?
I wanna okay, I see Irv. No, D'Lo. He first. I'm gonna get to his comment. He said, I see it too, but we have got away from that. Sometimes taking a step back after loss is the best move. Sometimes an immediate rematch is move. Yes, sometimes. Irv, he said, okay, he had a question for us. Why did Devin Haney drop the WBC? Was it because he didn't want to pay that money, or was it because he wanted to move up to fight Regis and then go back down and get the fight for? Okay, so basically, they made him the champion in recess. I can't forget which title it was, but the champion in recess. But pretty much he just not gonna move back down. If he go up, he ain't moving back down. That's just the case. So you don't see all those belts become available. He not going back down. So
Yeah, he
uh,
dropped it because he was moving up.
yeah, he moving up. He not coming back down.
You can't hold on to that shit.
Yeah, that's a Big E. He just dropped up in here. So D'Lo, he said Edwin is coming to win, and at worst, make sure people remember his name. Yeah, he coming to win. Yeah. So at the end of the day, Shakur, he still got a good fight coming up. Is not the fight that people wanted, but he still got a good fight on his hands. And hey, we going to have a champion after that fight concludes. Who will it be? We will see. But he got a good fight on his hands, and
What's that
we
for?
should
A
all be
title
tuned to.
eliminator or something?
It's actually for the vacant WBC.
Oh, for Haney belt?
Yeah, so that's another thing. Frank, he was going to be fighting for a title, and he passed that up.
Oh yeah, man. Frank did that, man. They tripping over there, man. They tripping.
Hey D'Lo, I don't know if you was here, but I referenced remember like a decade ago when Peter Quillen he had to defend his WBO versus Matt Korobov, and Al Haymon had him drop the WBO so Andy Lee and Korobov could fight for it. Andy Lee he ended up pulling off the upset
Well,
and knocked out Korobov.
well, he was making more money than that though than the purse did. Hyphy.
Yeah, so the PBC they basically was scared that another promoter would come in and
Mm-hmm.
basically place a higher bid, take that fight from him and then put him in a situation where Quillen could lose that.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, Andy Lee he ended up winning that fight, and then Quillen he fought Andy Lee in a draw, and that was that. But yeah, a lot of people gave Peter Quillen hell for that.
Yeah. But his excuse was he was making more money than what I'm saying, what the purse did offer anyway. That
Hmm.
motherfucker that they retired too early.
Yeah. After the Andy Lee fight, his career went away.
Construction businesses and all that shit. He was in church, had a family. He
Yeah,
said he,
yeah. He
he said
turned his life to God and
yeah.
stuff.
He said he was good. He made a lot of money. He said he was good. See, that'd be my thing though. Like I don't be wanting to be into that because it's a lot of shit go with these contracts for a motherfucker to get to saying somebody a dug or somebody scared or somebody. It's a lot of stuff that go in it. You know what I'm saying? And I weighed out the Frank Martin. Now I didn't know it was for a title. This whole time I was saying, "Hey, appreciate that super chat, Herb."
Hey, we
I
got
didn't know.
Irv. 1/10 of a dub on the eighth.
I didn't
Appreciate
know
you.
that was for the vacant title though. I mean, that was an opportunity for him. So I agree with that. That was an opportunity for Frank. But I mean, money wise, still points to if they're gonna take that risk, they might as well give it to Tank than give it to Shakur. You know what I'm saying? They be helping out ESPN. But if they trying to go for undisputed or something like that, which I doubt that Tank even cares about undisputed, because I heard Mayweather say that he making way more money than a title fight. You know what I'm saying? So I doubt if they were going that route. So it'd still be helping out top rank. That just be my take on these kind of contracts because contracts is a motherfucker.
Hey, once again, we appreciate that donation, Irvin and Joseph Brown as well. Everybody in the chat, y'all let me know. Did anybody besides me, did y'all wake up and watch that Japan card that took place this morning? Y'all type in the chat and let us know. I know Big Boys, he probably, I'm pretty sure he watched it. But it's unfortunate. I think we can all agree it's unfortunate that when it's time to have these fights where it's collaborations between multiple sides, it still seem to be these issues. That's that one hurdle that we can't get over. That would be probably our only complaint about this boxing year is it's that one hurdle that we can't get over.
Yeah, because there's too many motherfucking hats. A lot of shit ain't gonna happen. Like a lot of fights that we want to see, it ain't gonna happen because y'all don't want to see. A lot of us don't want to see the rematch. A lot of us don't believe in the rematches and shit. Eric R said dropping that point eight of a hundo. Hey, if the rematches was more interest, if it was more interest in the rematches, we would get these good fights. A lot of these good fights, like the Crawford versus the Spencers and the Wilder versus the AJs and these fantasy fights that people want to see. You know what I'm saying? We'd get more of them if the rematches had interest. Because a lot of these fighters are gonna want to go into these negotiations with a guaranteed rematch, man. I don't give a fuck if they get knocked, excuse my language. If y'all got your TV out loud, I don't care if they get knocked out in the first round. What man is not want to go get his get back, y'all? Look, can I get a one in the chat? If you got knocked out in the first round, you wouldn't want your rematch. Or a two, you would want your rematch if you got knocked out in the first round. That's just how men is, man. What about you, Ike? What you think about it?
Oh yeah, I think that it's just it's by nature to want to get that get back. It's just like when a fighter gets hit with a body shot, he want to go get his get back. I know, it's a weeknight, so we probably want to close it down. Let's say like the 2 hour mark, probably like 8 minutes from now.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, Joseph, he said he turned off by like the duck and talk. There's always something to do with business. 90% of fights not getting made. Especially the big fights. That's why some of us we enjoy either the lower weight classes or the women's because it's like we don't hear about none of the politics. We just hear about a fight getting made and we see the fight. Gil Coles, he said, okay, yeah, his boy Irv, he got tickets to the Spence versus Crawford fight. He said it's a funny story behind that. You might have to come on here one day and give us that story.
Yeah, for real.
Uh, okay, yeah, Eric R. He said he said I don't get it. I love rematches and rubber matches. The Wilder Fury was fire. It didn't go how we liked, but that shit was crazy. And look, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm one of the few people that I want to see a fourth fight. Just because of like the build up, the fan bases, the YouTube drama. I want to see a fourth fight.
Right. Like, if the interest is there for a lot of us, like, but most of us here, look at D'Lo. D'Lo say he gonna want to get his get back too. Gil Cole say he gotta have that. Like, see what I'm saying? Like, I don't. If all of us thought the same way, the rematches would be. A lot of people would mind losing they old, but then we'll get them old school trilogies and the fourth fight, like Hype said. We'll have more exciting events like the Wilder versus Fury. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers be having draws or remember Pacquiao, Eric Morales, Pacquiao, Marquez. Like them motherfuckers made money for both of them fighters. Them motherfuckers fought 3 and 4 times. Like if motherfucker we had interest like that, bro. Like when these fighters would make their money when they put their O's on the line, then I believe we'd get way more fights like that.
Now I will say, in the past it was fights that was good. You had rematches, but now it seems like these days it's okay. Well, let's create enough controversy, conspiracy around a fight to force a rematch. That's something I kind of don't like, but
Yeah,
it's coming also. This rematch we've been talking about, the Spence Crawford. I think it was just so jaw dropping of the way that the fight played out that it's led people to believe that can't be right. Well, let's see it again.
yeah. A lot of people made excuses But like, even if it was an excuse, the fighter didn't make no excuse. So why should we? But it is. They did leave it up for public opinion. So I just ignore a lot of the stuff that I think be conspiracy theories. Like, if the weight drain is one thing, but all that, the nigga looking drunk and all that weird shit. It's kind of like, why would a motherfucker come to the fight drunk? Like, to the biggest fight in his life drunk. That,
Right.
that's
Hey, and they said he was high. Okay, well, where's the positive post-fight drug test?
yeah, that shit be crazy. Like, that look just couldn't be like, damn, I'm about to go in here and get my ass looked, but I'm definitely don't feel like getting, you know what I mean? Definitely don't feel like getting up in this ring fighting today, man. Sometimes these fighters feel like that. How you feel like a lot of these motherfuckers get up there and already they weight drained. They just not feeling it that night. It's just not their night. So you know what I'm saying. You never know until motherfuckers get in a comfortable zone just to see. So the second fight always to be the judge. Like the first fight with Wilder, like uh Emmanuel Stewart, rest in peace, said that Fury will beat Wilder 2 out of 3 times. And regardless of how people say that it was a draw, the first fight was a draw. Let's just say Wilder did win that first fight. You know what I'm saying? Because that was the fight that if it would have went to the count would have been fair. I don't even want to say that because I still sound controversial. Everybody think that the
I
count
mean,
is 10,
it
right?
was a controversial moment. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but I just don't want, like I don't want to make excuses for Wilder. You know what I'm saying? But let's just say that count would have went to 10. Look at the results that happened the next 2 fights. You feel what I'm saying? Like he knocked Fury out, and Fury came back and beat him. Like did the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not in the same fashion, but he stopped his ass. You know what I'm saying? So and he beat him twice out of 3 times though. He beat him behind the ear shots, whatever excuses anybody want to make. That was Wilder's fault that he got hit behind the ear. But he beat him. He beat him twice, bro, in dramatic fashion. And Wilder won, or could have won, or 50% won the first fight. So that accuracy of a judgment was spot on. You know what I'm saying? By a motherfucker that know the game. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers three 2 out of 3 times, Fury is the better fighter because he had beat Wilder 2 out of 3 times, and the results is the results. And
Yeah, and I can honestly say, that was a trilogy, and I was entertained by all three of those fights. I'm glad it was a trilogy. Like I said, I actually want to see a fourth fight. I actually hope it come around. Um, just like some other random news stuff that happened around boxing. Amir Khan, he said that the reason he tested positive after the Brook fight is because he got a friend that's a bodybuilder, and they was out and about, and he took a drink from his drink, and that's how he tested positive.
wow,
I
that's
said,
like some shit a motherfucker tell a parole officer. That's
yeah, yeah. Why you had it dirty?
why you got this what do they call that shit? Why you got this cocaine in your system? Oh, it's because I was with my brother, man. He's a professional cocaine smoker. And I tested dollar bill, and that's how I got in my system. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
It don't
man.
make no sense.
Yeah, create dumb stuff. It's other stuff that's just going by my head, but I just can't think of like everything right now. But it's other like little boxing news here and there and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh, yeah.
yeah, Mayweather. I guess he said, no, yeah, in no way he needs to come to America and train out here so he could be tested, strict testing. So basically hinting at something.
Yeah, I seen that. Hey, I would never uh, doubt Mayweather's decision because he been spot on about them dirty ass fighters. He been spot on, bro. Like a lot of people been caught ever since. that testing shit been coming on, and Canelo been one of them. So he been spot on with these motherfuckers being dirty, cheating, and all that kind of shit. So I wouldn't doubt him if he think that a motherfucker dirty, or if he heard that a motherfucker was dirty. Herb over there laughing. Eric R said, I want to see a fourth fight too. Like I Wilder can land that Usyk and upset run that Fury 4. Herb laughing. Herb said too much politics in boxing today. Yeah, it is, man. That's why I said too many hats. And then like a lot of us don't make it no better because we got a lot of like wrestling fans that's really not following the sport, like casuals. You know what I'm saying? That fuck up the game. So it's a lot of things that got to do with it.
Yeah, so right now we're about to have our roll call. I'm gonna give everybody that's in the chat a chance to drop y'all channels, promote y'all channels and stuff. We at that 2 hour mark. So yeah, y'all got channels. We know, D-Lo, for example, Big Boys Boxing, he got a channel and a Discord server. We got somebody in here new, like Irv H, for example. Get that man a chance to come follow y'all channels, check y'all out. Irv, I don't know if you like kind of new to all of this YouTube boxing stuff, but just know like anything that you see, you got to go confirm it. It basically is. It's better to be the last one to get the factual news than to be the first one to get fake news. You gotta take your time with this YouTube boxing stuff because it get way too crazy. It's a rumor scene out here.
Yeah.
So
And they ain't gonna recite their sources. Herb say everybody want they get back, but some of us don't have enough clout to.
yeah,
It's a clout thing.
and don't be believing oh, this channel he must be factual because he interviewed him before, he got 100,000 subscribers. Now you can't go off none of that. All right, so yeah, big boy, yeah, he said good show. Dilo, yeah, okay. Come on, man. He said, did you see them Spence packs floating around? Come on.
No, man, I was talking about it earlier, man, that your boy is acting like a real non-stand-up character, man. I was talking about that earlier, and I don't be hearing nobody talk about it, and I think that's kind of fucked up. That he, he didn't have no problem saying that he was tired of 47 also, and then mind taking the rematch at 54, and now it all changed according to so cool Stevie Nelson. He said if he want the rematch, it's gonna have to be at 47. Is what they're saying now, and I didn't get nobody take about it. I didn't hear nobody talking about it. So me and Hypey talked about it earlier.
Yeah, so okay, yeah, Eric R. He said, okay, yeah, just saying he don't got a channel. So look, I'm gonna just remind y'all, we do got some fights this weekend. Like I said, today it was one fight. Y'all lazy motherfuckers didn't wake up. Marlon got an excuse because he had to go to, well, shit, he was tired. We just say that. We had Kenshiro Taraji versus Heki Butler, and then on the undercard that was this fighter Junto Nakatani. He won his fight also. So that was the card this morning for most of us. All right, so we got a Jukumbayev. That's another 140 pounder. He got a fight this week. That's on like Pro Box, I believe. Then I know we got the Zhang Zhile fight with Joe Joyce rematch. The first fight was wicked, so expect nothing more than the same in this one. I know Anthony Yard, he gonna be on that undercard, and y'all remember that super middleweight Zach Parker who had Demetrius Andrade scared. I know he returned on that card also. Okay, yeah, you got the Richardson Hitchens. Yeah, he fight Jose Zepeda. And then the undercard, I know that's gonna be Jessica McCaskill versus Sandy Ryan. That's for 3 belts, women's, welterweight division. So oh yeah, that Austin Emma Williams. He fight against that guy Steve Rose. Solid contender that's been around for a while. So yeah, I know that's gonna be on there also. And then I feel like I'm missing another. Yeah, I don't know. I might be, but it's like it's fights that's gonna be just kind of like spread out. Say it again.
Then Rose fought. He got Canelo up under his belt, didn't he?
I don't think no. He has
Or Charlo. He got Charlo. He fought
he
Charlo.
he what's the what's the name, that Puerto Rican guy? I can't think of his name right now, but yeah, he got
Oh,
people like him.
EGG. That's who it was.
Yeah. He got him. He got Berlanga under his belt. So yeah, he just like a solid, veteran.
Yeah. That'll be
Yeah,
it's a step fight.
yeah. So yeah, he got him under there. So basically it's like fights that spread all around, but this is one of the weekends where you're gonna have to be at home because you got a fight happening on UK time in the daytime, and then after that you're gonna have fights coming on in the nighttime as well. Um, so yeah, this for the boxing fans, y'all gonna be at home pretty much all day or have your phones charged so y'all can be streaming while y'all out and about. It's one of them weekends. I think people should be very excited for that Jean Gelay versus Joe Joyce rematch. And if y'all not, go watch that first one, and y'all just gonna see a good fight that show y'all that y'all need to watch this fight. So that's about it. So it's fights everywhere, and if time permits, we end up coming back here next Monday.
Yeah, shit. That's it, Hype.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so everybody that came in, we appreciate y'all coming through. Joseph and Irv, I dropped some donations. Once again, we appreciate it.
Most definitely. And you already know, man, it's always fun. It's always love of sharing your opinion, chopping it up about what's going on in the sport that we rocking with, man. Shit, we be back on Wednesday. If everything line up right. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night, man. Appreciate Herb, appreciate the super chat, appreciate the members, man. Y'all be showing us love, and it's much appreciated. But we'll catch y'all on the next one. Until next time, don't forget to tell them haters and trolls, the fuck out my gym.
Yay.
Peace.